NCAA tournament time here at Alston Parker Watt Field on the campus of Washington and Lee, where the Generals of Washington and Lee get ready to take on the Farmingdale State Rams. We welcome you out to, as I said, Alston Parker Watt Field on the campus of Washington and Lee for some first-round NCAA tournament action between the Farmingdale State Rams and the number 9 W&L Generals of Washington and Lee. Both teams have fought long and hard to get to this point in the season. Both conference championship winners and both trying to advance to the next round for some tournament action coming up tomorrow. Take a look at both teams and how they've gotten here so far this season. Looking at Farmingdale State first, undefeated team in Skyline play, seated second in the Skyline tourney, 1 point behind Mount St. Vincent going into that tournament, and they ended up winning the conference championship and booking their ticket to this NCAA tournament with a big win over Mount St. Vincent in the final with the final score of 2-1, clinching their ticket to this NCAA tournament and this matchup coming up against Washington and Lee University. And then when you take a look at the Generals on the other side, they made it all the way to the ODAC tournament final as well, going up against Virginia Wesleyan in that contest, coming away with the 1-0 victory to clinch their ticket to this NCAA tournament. Both teams fighting, as I said, long and hard seasons to get here, playing quite a few games. Farmingdale State's record overall sitting at 11-7-4 coming into this tournament. And then we take a look at the Generals, 18-1-1 overall coming into the tournament as well, having an excellent season. Farmingdale State recently, however, have been playing very, very, very well. They have not lost a game in quite some time, with a win streak of 6 matches coming into this game and winning 10 out of the last 12 games, with a couple ties in between there. They started the season a little bit slow with a couple losses, 3 losses in their first 4 games, and then a tie, and then a couple more losses coming at the hands of some good teams in Arcadia and Sunny New Paltz, but then a big win against St. Joseph's Brooklyn with a 10-0 victory. And once they got into conference play, they started rattling off a bunch of wins. And as we said, their last 6 games coming away with W's, including 2 9-0 victories and then a 10-0 victory against Old Westbury. When you take a look at the Generals, they've just dominated conference play, winning every single match during that time frame and just dominating all their opponents that they saw during that time. For Farmingdale State, this is their 13th NCAA tournament appearance. It's going 1-12 in those tournament games. Their last appearance was in 2021, and they lost in the first round, a score of 2-1 to number 20 Brandis at the time. Game was in Cambridge, Massachusetts at MIT, and their last victory came in 2018 against Brandis as well. That game took place at TCNJ in Ewing, New Jersey. And when you take a look at the Generals, they've made the tournament 7 different times, and they lost their last few times that they've made it here. Last year they lost against Carnegie Mellon in the first round by a score of 0-1. Their last win came in the first round against Christopher Newport back in 2009 by a score of 4-0. So it's been a little while since the Generals have gotten a win. That was the last time that they hosted, as they're hosting today, where they found their win. Ended up losing in the second round of that tournament by a score of 0-2 against Lynchburg. But both teams have some NCAA tournament experience in their past. Definitely schools that are not new to the tournament, but both looking for a win. Both haven't found the greatest success once they've gotten to the NCAA tournament. But every year is a new year to right that and change that. And both teams are looking to do that today. I'll be back after the national anthem with the starting lineups, and we'll get going with some NCAA tournament action after this.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
had numerous family members who've been taken away from heart disease and stroke. That drove me to pursue knowledge about health and well-being. Playing college football gave me an opportunity to get myself into college.
Goes to Parks. He's in the end zone.
That's when I decided that I want to go into personal trainer. I felt I would have a great opportunity to share my knowledge about well-being within Detroit. I hope to reach as many people as I can.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
I had numerous family members who've been taken away from heart disease and stroke. That drove me to pursue knowledge about health and well-being. Playing college football gave me an opportunity to get myself into college.
Goes to Parks. He's in the end zone.
That's when I decided that I want to go into personal trainer. I felt I would have a great opportunity to share my knowledge about well-being within Detroit. I hope to reach as many people as I can.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
Welcome back into Alston Parker Watt Field on the campus of Washington Lee. We're just about ready to get some NCAA tournament action going for you. But first, take a quick look at the starting lineups. First, for the Farmingdale State Rams, number 1, sophomore defender Stephanie Albergine. Number 3, a freshman midfielder Abigail Chest. Number 8, a sophomore forward Kayla Mendez. Number 9, a senior midfielder Michaela Spearing. Number 10, a junior midfielder Elise Rivera. Number 11, a junior defender, number 11, Alexandra Coloma. Number 14, a senior defender, Alexander Getfield. Number 19, a senior defender, Gracie Heilbrunn. Number 20, a senior defender, Nicole Celeste. Number 23, a junior goalkeeper, Haley Stork. And rounding out their rosters, number 26, a senior defender, Alexis McNeil. And now taking a look at the hosting Generals starting lineup. In goal, number 1, junior goalkeeper Abby Groff. Number 3, senior midfielder Ann Riley Huber. Number 5, sophomore midfielder Emily Burke. Number 6, a first-year midfielder Megan Zimmerman. Number 8, a junior midfielder Sarah Zimmerman. Number 11, a junior forward Sophie Berman. Number 12, a junior defender, Sydney DeVory. Number 13, a junior defender, Bryn Bissinger. Number 14, a sophomore defender, Shea Bowman. Number 21, a sophomore midfielder, Amelia Mankin. Rounding out the Generals roster is number 25, a first-year defender, Avery Hanna. So just about ready to get things kicked off here at Alston Parker Watt Field. The Generals getting lined up. Farmingdale State on their side, still lined up in a group huddle. This one is shaping up to be an exciting game, as all NCAA tournament games are. As I said before, both of these teams winning their respective conference championships, booking their ticket to this NCAA tournament. The Generals with just one loss on the season, which has earned them the right to host this first NCAA tournament game. Action, whoever wins this game and then the game following up between Ohio Northern and Sewanee, the winners will take on each other tomorrow back here at Alston Parker Watt Field. But first, we have to get through our contest today to decide who moves on to that second round. Take a look at some key players for both sides. Referees still getting situated on the far side of the field. Top goal scorers for each team: Sarah Zimmerman with 12 goals on the year for Washington and Lee. And when you take a look at the Farmingdale State squad, their top goal scorer is Elise Rivera with 12 goals on the season. Kayla Mendez with 13 goals on the season. So both teams with some prolific goal scoring. Both teams rely heavily on their offense, but when you take a look at the Generals, their defense really is what's gotten them to this point so far. As we get underway here with the kickoffs centered by Farmingdale State, they booted all the way down to the Generals side for Hannah to take the ball. For both teams, this is their first matchup that they've ever played against each other. Farmingdale State College, based up on Long Island, New York. The Generals obviously here in Lexington, Virginia. Not in the same conference. Obviously, they wouldn't play each other there and just have not matched up against each other. So both these teams unfamiliar historically and currently about each other's rosters. Both teams early just trying to possess the ball, see what they can do with it, try to figure each other's team out. Both in completely different regions as well, so not really playing any other similar opponents to each other. This is a lot of brand new faces going up against each other. Both teams still trying to find their way forward. It's Mankey now for the Generals in the midfield. The ball still just being bounced around. Generals trying to find their way forward. Farmingdale State already early pushed back. Doing a good job here against Zimmerman. A good cross in by Zimmerman to put into Berman. And they're going to call play back as a foul is committed by the Generals. So Farmingdale State will get an early free kick opportunity here. About just 2 minutes elapsed here. Looks like Celeste will be the one to take it. As I said before, both teams recently not finding the greatest success in the tournament. Both teams losing their last time that they appeared. For Farmingdale State, that was back in 2021 by a score of 2-1 against number 20 at the time, Brandis. And then for the Generals, it was last season, losing also in the first round by a score of 1-0 against Carnegie Mellon. But that'll be changed today. One of these teams will be advancing to the next round. And hopefully trying to change their fortunes in this tournament. So Generals dominating possession early here. Trying to get going offensively down the other end. And a really good job there, bodying off Huber. Farmingdale State defense. Gracie Heilbrunn on the defensive end, using her physicality to push Huber out of play, get the ball out. And now the Rams will look to establish some possession here. A wayward pass, though, by Chest. Trying to get that ball up to her teammate Coloma, but just not an accurate ball there. No real offensive threats to either goalie so far early in this game. Both teams still trying to find their way forward. Ball mostly sitting in the Rams' defensive half. As keeper Stork will collect that ball easily. Take a look at Farmingdale State and their head coach, Chris Roach. Been with the team for 20 years. Career record of 241, 137, and 37. So about a 625 winning percentage. And 14 Skyline titles under his guidance. And Burke immediately cutting through the defense and getting a shot in onto goal. When you take a look back at that play, ball up from Huber and then Burke running up to it and almost putting that one past the defense. But the ball just sailed wide right or wide left of the far post. Now the Generals taking a corner quickly. But good defense there by the Rams on the far side. Now they have a chance to break away. But Hannah did a really nice job there, getting her body in front of Coloma and blocking that ball. Coloma, if she was able to get past Hannah, would have been all alone back there with keeper Abby Groff. That's something the Generals have struggled with recently on their corners, is really getting good execution. They opted to play short on that one and didn't really find what they were looking for. And a foul committed on the near side by Farmingdale State, so it'll be a free kick in a dangerous location, a good angle here to get a cross in. You'd expect a cross from this angle rather than a shot for Bissinger. And a second quick succession early set piece opportunity for W&L here. Bissinger crosses it in. Able to find the head of Burke, but Burke just not able to put that ball in accurately. A really good cross into the box. But again, Farmingdale State able to come away unscathed. As I talked about earlier, Farmingdale State have been on a magnificent run over their last 6 games, winning all 6 of them, including, of course, the Skyline Conference Championship game by a score of 2-1. Another foul committed here by Farmingdale State. Coach Roach not really understanding what the call is for, trying to plead his case on the sidelines. Possession still right now being controlled by Washington and Lee. It's been a really big factor in their winning streak as of late. They have not given up a goal since October 5th. Going back 12 games, all of which occurring during conference play, but still a mighty impressive run of clean sheets by the Generals, and it really has to be attributed to their ability to maintain possession. And Burke trying to cross that ball in, unable to do so. A little bit of a wayward clearance there. And that ball took a deflection. And that ball just dumped right out of play, again by Heilbrunn. And it'll be a throw right at the corner flag for W&L. As I was saying, the Generals' ability to keep possession has been their focal point, which has left them vulnerable occasionally as Berman tries her luck, but it has left them vulnerable occasionally to the counterattack, which the Rams will have to take advantage of today. It really hasn't been effectively inputted by a lot of teams the Generals have faced, but the opportunities are there, and a lot of the time it's just the one pass that the team needs to make across the field to get a goal-scoring chance against the Generals, but their suffocating ball pressure a lot of the time doesn't allow them to do that. But it'll be imperative today that the Rams are able to break that pressure and get out on the counterattack when some of the Generals' backs, especially their left and right backs, Bowman and Hannah, get a little too far exposed. It's good effort there to break up the pressure by the Rams, but the ball immediately turned back over to the Generals. Bissinger trying to find the through ball, just a little bit too much on that far side, though, for Huber. The Rams will take a throw on the near side. Farmingdale State have been very good when it comes to scoring against their opponents. 62 goals they've scored on the season, only 21 that they've given up. We take a look at the Generals, though. They've also scored 62 goals, but only allowed 4 on the entire year. So a really commendable job by that Generals defense, led by junior goalkeeper Abby Groff in the back line. But she hasn't really had to face too much pressure sometimes in these games because of her defensive ability, or defender's ability, to get the ball out. Crossed in by Bissinger, knocked away. Again, the Rams do a good job disallowing any real goal-scoring chance to come off of that set piece. Both teams just knocking it around on the near side right in front of the box. Another throw for the Rams. Generals not allowing them to establish any possession, just knocking that ball out of play. W&L will look to establish their possession again. The Rams still yet to really string a lot together, but a good steal there. Ball just dumped ahead, though, by Coloma. Trying to force some of the Generals' midfielders to come back. DeVore moving forward. Boots it right into the back of a Rams player. The ball comes off of the Generals' back line, so the Rams will get a chance here to bring some of their players forward and try to put some pressure onto this Generals team. About 12 minutes gone in this first half. Still scoreless here at Watt Field. Team still just jostling for a possession. Generals switch it over to the near side. Hannah with a bit of a heavy pass there. But again, Coloma just knocking that ball out of play. Take a look at this Rams offense. They get a lot of contribution from their top 3 goal scorers, and Elise Rivera, Kayla Mendez, and Rachel McAuliffe, each with over 10 goals on the season. After that, their highest goal scorer is only at 4. It's definitely a 3-headed monster, if you will, on this Rams team that they'll look to have to get going. But perhaps they'll need some unlikely hero to step up and try to find that goal for them. When you look at the Generals, it's a little bit more balanced offensively, but still, Sarah Zimmerman leading the charge with 12 goals, 6 more than the next closest scorer. So both teams relying on a few people, a couple figures to find the back of the net. Zimmerman also leading the Generals in total assists. When you take a look at the Rams, Elise Rivera leading that category with 12. Zimmerman for the Generals with 8. Burke now crosses it in, finds the head. I believe that's Megan Zimmerman for an early Generals goal here, 14 minutes into the contest. We'll take a look at that replay once again.
Washington and Lee goal scored by number 6, Megan
Huber
Zimmerman.
booted the ball up to Burke.
Number 5, Emily Burke.
Or rather, oh, that's the wrong replay. Let me. There we go. Here we go. It's Burke with it on the far side. She crosses it right into the middle of the box, and Zimmerman right there where she needed to be gets her head onto the cross. And the Generals find an early goal and take an early lead, 1-0 in this NCAA first-round matchup. Generals have been probing entire first half. Had a couple of crosses in, found the head of Burke earlier. I just saw that Burke shot. Accidental replay that popped up. Generals already with 5 shots, and that one, their first shot on goal and their first goal, able to get into the back of the net. And immediately they're getting back up onto offense for the Rams that are going to have to try to settle this down. And a good tackle there to win possession back, and then Rivera will just knock that ball out of play. So an early goal to get the Generals their 1-0 lead here against the Farmingdale State College Rams. Berman trying to get up onto that deflected shot, but she was positioned in an offside position. Stork there opted to play that ball. I'm not sure if that was the best idea. That ball looked like it wasn't going to get into the back of the net. Probably better off trying to catch that ball, but no harm, no foul. Ball takes a precarious bounce for the Rams, and Getfield there. Looks like she got tripped up by Burke. So it'll alleviate some of the pressure on the Rams here. Take a free kick right on the edge of their box. Neal to boot it away, and she just boots it right out of play, right past the half-field line. Just about 15 minutes elapsed here. Generals scoring a 14th minute goal by Megan Zimmerman, assisted by Huber and Burke, to take the early 1-0 lead that you see on your score. That cross goes long on the far side. Booted back in by Bowman. Finds the feet of Hannah. Rams trying to close it down. Huber had the low cross, but good block put out by the Rams. Generals really mounting the pressure now. Allowing their left and right backs to come up, but it's important for the Rams to, when they win possession, to try to get the ball up quickly and catch this Generals defense off guard. As I said, you can see on your screen too, their left and right backs love coming well up the field, which can sometimes leave them exposed on the back end. Virginia Wesleyan in the ODAC championship game towards the end of that contest really started to find their way forward. Were not able to find the equalizing goal, but certainly had their fair share of chances. And that ball hits the center referee, so it'll be a drop ball in favor of Farmingdale State. Referee obviously interfering with play there, so Farmingdale State get the ball back, but Generals immediately steal it away and try to get back up again on the attack. Berman with a good cross in. Nobody home, though, for the target. And Zimmerman, on the far side of the box, picks up the rebound and slots the goal home. Another goal for the Generals here in quick succession. Megan Zimmerman with her second goal of the day, really catching the Rams and really me off guard with this shot. The ball bounced out to her, and she just attempts it from the edge of the box and able to slot that ball home. For the Generals to take a 2-0 lead here. Goals coming in within 5 minutes of each other, both for Megan Zimmerman. And the Rams now on the far side grouping up together, trying to re-galvanize their team after a couple of punches thrown early by the Generals with these 2 goals. For Megan Zimmerman, her 8th goal of the season, already with 2 in this contest, unassisted that time. Just the ball took a deflection right out to her, and she had all the time in the world to slot that home. Not really much goalkeeper Haley Stork could do there. They've had to have had a full extension to try to get out to that ball. Rams defense didn't close down on Zimmerman quick enough, and she had plenty of time to slot that ball home. Berman again there, positioned offside. The referee going to stop the clock here. So it looks like Getfield a little shaken up. Perhaps took a high elbow or hand to the face. Hope she's okay. We'll get her off the field, and teammate Maddie Berry will check into the game as Getfield gets attention. Certainly not the hard start that the Rams were hoping for. They haven't given up 2 goals in any game since their 1-2 loss against FDU Florham 6 matches ago. That after that match started their 6-game win streak and their run to the Skyline Conference Championship. Still very early in this game, though. Just about 18 minutes gone and plenty of time to get back into it. Huber there with a beautiful touch to get the ball behind her. Gets it over to Hannah. And a great tackle there. Executed by the Rams defense. It's Albertine with that really big tackle. Physical play there to knock Hannah down, but the ball goes out of play for a General's throw with Huber. She boots it, tries to center it. Megan Zimmerman out to Huber. She gets it into Burke. Some heavy touches there inside the box from the Generals, not able to control it. Rams doing a good job of getting in, deflecting some of those passes. They're going to say that Loughran there committing the foul. So Bissinger will be the one to take it. The Generals getting ready for their first substitution of the contest. Bissinger boots it long. Found the head of Megan Zimmerman there on hat-trick watch. She's unable to keep that ball down, and a couple of substitutions for both sides. Getfield will come back in, so it's good to know that she's okay. She'll replace Barry, who just checked in for her. And then for the Generals, Otney coming in for Burke, who already has 1 assist today on that first Megan Zimmerman goal, the cross in, where Megan Zimmerman then put the ball in the back of the net. For the Rams, still no shots yet in this game. Really haven't been able to establish any kind of possession so far into the Generals' half. They've been more content when they get the ball just to clear it away. as you see here, not really getting the ball to their other teammates, but rather just knocking it away back to the Generals' back line. And Hannah gets it to Otney. Hannah taken down there by Albergine. And Albergine not happy with that call, conferring with the referee, and then really upset. A little bit of dissent here. Hannah did go down pretty aggressively on that side. No cards awarded. Referee doing a good job of trying to handle this game. Obviously, emotions for both sides very high. To win or go home. And once again, ball hitting the referee. So it'll be another drop ball in favor of Farmingdale State. Getfield to take it. And Mankey in the midfield deflecting that ball away for the Generals, but it'll be in favor of the Rams on the far side. And they're going to say a foul committed by the Generals. So again, another chance for the Rams players to move forward and try to get something going offensively. Down 2 goals with about half of this first half remaining. 23 minutes just about left in this first half. As I said before, still plenty of time for the Rams to find their way forward as they execute some good passes here. They'll take a long shot. Doesn't really threaten the W&L goalkeeper, Groff. But their first shot attempt of the contest, and a little bit impatient there, perhaps, for the Rams, but some good signs there as they're able to execute a few passes and move the ball forward. Rams trying to get forward with some pressure. Loughran is up on Groff there, and she finds the ball at her feet now. She makes a cutback move. Gets the ball over to Rivera, who then puts it on the far side. A long cross in. Just inaccurate. Nobody on that near side post for that cross to find. As the Generals get ready for another substitution. Aubrey Dunbar, the first year coming in for the senior Ann Riley Huber. Both teams have their fair share of first years or freshmen that get their minutes, but obviously a decent mix of experience and youth, if you will, for both sides. It's always the combination that you hope to have those seniors to help guide the first years that maybe not have been here before, but also those first years to be getting this valuable experience in the NCAA tournament. Dunbar trying to get a cross in. Heilbronn did a good job, though, running her off of that ball. Dunbar with just a bit of a heavy touch and unable to corral to her own. Touch up onto the far side, and it'll be a goal kick for Stork once again. Zimmerman able to steal it. Trying to cut her way forward. Found Megan Zimmerman. But again, a heavy touch, not able to control it. Bowman stealing it away in the midfield. Dunbar now with it. The Rams doing a better job dealing with this pressure now. Generals can be relentless at times, as we saw with their 2 goals earlier in this half with rather quick succession. Bissinger switching the field of play over to Bowman. Again, heavy touch there. Good pressure from this Rams side. Not allowing these passes to be completed easily. It's very important not to give space, as we saw. Generals can be so deadly when they have open space, especially when it comes to shooting outside the box. Sarah Zimmerman especially, but Megan Zimmerman, as we saw earlier, with her goal. That's one thing that's really important for the Rams in this game, is to not get frustrated, to not get upset about their lack of goal-scoring opportunities. It comes with playing this Generals team and understanding that they do such a good job of getting pressure and possessing the ball. But when they do get their opportunities, it's important to make the most of them. Sometimes it's about not being afraid to get some bodies forward. It can leave you vulnerable on the backside. But especially in games like this where it is win or go home and you do need, at this point, to find 2 equalizing goals, it's very important that they do get bodies forward and try to find that equalizing goal. And a little bit of extracurricular there from Albergine. Whistle had already been blown, and she threw herself into Hannah there. Referee letting her know that that won't be accepted, but still no card put up. The foul will go against the Generals. Aubergine was already spoken to earlier by the referee on the far side. Just resetting the clock to 18:17 there, the referee wanted. Again, emotions very high for both sides, but the referee understands the importance of keeping tempers down and trying to keep control of this game. Don't want things to get out of hand, of course, for either side. The Rams will boot it long. Trying to establish some possession. A good backheel flick. A beautiful play there by Rivera. Unable to control it, though, and the Generals moving back again onto the attack. And now a couple substitutions again coming in for the Generals. First year's Maren Brown and Elizabeth Perry both coming in, as Megan Zimmerman, the goal scorer in this game, checking out, and Shea Bowman on the far side also checking out of this game. A few first years coming in off the bench has typically been how it goes for the Generals. Most of their first years making their appearances off of the bench. The Rams side, they do have a good showing. Good amount of fans came out to Lexington to support them. Generals with another substitution here. Elizabeth Zimmerman, the third Zimmerman sister. She'll come in for Sophie Berman, who's been very active in this game up on the left side. As I was saying, the Rams, a good traveling crowd here to support their team in the NCAA tournament. Always a big game, no matter what sport or what team it is in the tournament. So you always want to have your fans out here supporting. A nice commute from Long Island to get here. Generals finding Dunbar in space. She tries to get it up to Elizabeth Zimmerman, but unable to catch up with that ball. A lot of the Generals' wings and a few of their midfielders. And it looks like Albergine, who already had a few warnings, using her body to take down Dunbar there. She'll pick up the yellow card. And if you're Coach Roach, you might want to think about getting a substitution. Albergine's emotions really running high right now. That physical play kind of unnecessary. And Coach Roach will do exactly that. So Stephanie Albergine, the sophomore defender, she'll come out. For the Rams, on will come Riley Valenzano. Freshman. Plays a midfield forward role for the Farmingdale State team. Bissinger boots it long. For the Rams, Albergine just getting on the bench, getting a chance to calm down a little bit and let her emotions come back down. She's really been very active for the Rams on this side, but just a little too aggressive at some moments, and she picks up the yellow card. That kind of emotion can work both ways. It can really galvanize a team, but at times it can be a detriment. Coach Roach understanding the importance of that emotion, but also the importance of controlling it. Zimmerman goes down on the far side, but they're going to say that she was pulling on the jersey there. So another free kick right about in this midfield position. Rams have had a lot of these kicks early in this game. Opted to boot it long every time, and they do so again. DeVore knocks it right up into the air for Hannah on the far side. You can see that Hannah switched over to that left back position since Perry checked in. And Brown, a good one-touch play between her and Zimmerman. She gets it back over to Zimmerman on the far side. She's trying to beat her defender, Ing Celeste. Both players go down out of play, and they're going to say it's a goal kick in favor of the Rams. So good play there by Nicole Celeste, the senior defender. Stay in front of Zimmerman and not allow her to get beat. No chance to get across in there for W&L. Still just the one shot. This game for the Rams was on target, but not really threatening to goalkeeper Abby Groff for the Generals on the other side. Groff still yet to do a lot of work. Only touched the ball twice. A little bit more active on the other side for Stork. That cross for the Rams took a deflection off of chest. Rather unfortunate, and it falls into the hands of the Generals. Attempted a challenge there in the midfield. Rams player went down, but no foul called. Ball trying to get up into Otney. Zimmerman, a good deflection there. But she's able to win the ball back and boots it. The flies right over the net. A couple of Rams players went down there. Some of the Farmingdale State fans wanted a potential foul call, but referee not awarding it as the Rams will get another substitution. Maddie Berry will come back in. She'll replace Abigail Chest. Or rather, not Chest. She'll replace Michaela Spearing. Chest will stay in the game. That ball off the head of Zimmerman. General was trying to control it. Don't have a lot of bodies forward, but Dunbar finds some space on the near side, and Getfield does a good job getting back and blocking that cross, but the Generals will have another chance at a corner here. Their second corner of the contest. First one didn't really create any kind of threat for Farmingdale State. They've done a really good job of handling this Generals pressure, not really giving up too many shots since those couple of goals. A good punch out there by Stork. Ball still not cleared, though. DeVore will take a chance at it. From my angle, it looked like it was in the back of the net, but just hit the net on the other side of the goal. And it'll be a kick for Stork as Sataki comes in. Stephanie Sataki, the sophomore midfielder, she'll check in for Sarah Zimmerman. So some of the starters for both sides now getting some rest as we reach the final 10 minutes of this second half. Getting some rest and getting ready to gear up for another 45 after this 10 minutes. Once again, the Generals moving forward into the Rams side of the field. A wayward pass from Dunbar, but still able to find its way through. And it'll be a free kick. They're going to say, I believe that might have been a handball. Took a deflection off of a Rams player. And DeVore for the Generals will be the one to take it. Generals up to 10 total shots, just 2 on goal. The 2 goals, both by the first-year Megan Zimmerman. DeVore with plenty of options here. Dead on look at the goal. Could easily try for a shot or put a pass into one of her teammates, and she'll opt for the shot. No real threat there to the Rams or Stork as that ball just sails right over the crossbar. Quick look at Stork's season for the Rams this year. She's transferred from Marist College and named the most outstanding player of the Skyline Conference Championships with 8 saves in their victory. Definitely a big contributor for this Rams team, and so far has made a couple of good plays, a good punch out earlier off of a corner. Of course, the 2 goals that have found the way into the back of the net behind her, but not really necessarily her fault on either one. Megan Zimmerman with the header earlier, really difficult play for her to get to, and then the shot that she took from outside the box was a difficult save. No real pressure from the Rams team on that shot as the Generals move forward again here. And for Stork, also 5 clean sheets this season. She boots it long. Rams trying to get the ball forward. Dunbar trying to work against Barry, but Barry does a good job knocking it away. The ball's still in, though, for the Generals, and Sataki there on the far end, getting her foot involved and putting one in No real threat there again for Stork. There's a couple more substitutions for the Generals. Jurgensen, she'll come in for Dunbar. Jurgensen, a sophomore forward. And then for Farmingdale State, a couple of substitutions. Morgan Martin, midfielder, she comes in, as well as Catherine Finkler, freshman, and Morgan Martin, a senior. The last 15 minutes or so has just been a lot of teams trading possession. The Generals moving forward, committing a foul there, but no real threats to either goalkeeper in the last 15 or so. Jurgensen boots it up. Speed there you can see from McNeil. Lightning quick. And a really good effort there, using her body to get Jurgensen off of the ball. A Rams player down, though, inside of their own 18-yard box. Stork did a good job there coming out and grabbing that ball. Picking her moment to come out and make a play. Perhaps just some cramping going on. It's Getfield, the one that went down. She was the one who used her body to get in front of Jurgensen to allow Stork to come up and get that ball. Getfield just a little shaken up. Taking a few hits early in this game. Always a physical game, soccer can be, especially once you reach the tournament time. And as I said earlier, coming up after this contest around 1:30 will be Ohio Northern versus Sewanee. The winner of this game and that game will play each other tomorrow in second round action. It's just under 6 minutes to go in this first half. Generals still with a 2-0 lead, led by two Megan Zimmerman goals. The ball crossed from Perry, found its way all the way through. No General there, though, on the backside. And a couple more substitutions now for both sides. Madison Deskins, the junior midfielder, she comes in to replace Elise Rivera. And then for the Generals is Catherine Grosso. She comes in to replace Avery Hanna. Grosso, junior midfielder, also finds herself in defensive roles sometimes. And coming in for Hanna, you got to think that she'll be playing that left or right back role, as you can see her on the right side of your screen now. And a breakthrough chance here for the Rams. But DeVore does a good job tracking that down. It was Martin trying to run up and get that ball. And as you can see, what I was talking about earlier, oftentimes there can be a split-second moment where there's a chance to break through, and the Rams saw that there. And now starting to mount a little bit momentum. A foul committed in the midfield, a chance for a free kick onto the General side. The cross booted in long. Zimmerman able to get a head on it. Ball still finding its way into the 18-yard box, and they're going to say that it was a foul committed right on the edge of the box by the Generals. Definitely the best chance of the day for the Rams here. The free kick in a dangerous location just outside the 18-yard box. It looks like McNeil will be the lone taker to stand over the ball. You wonder if she'll opt to go for a goal or get a pass into a teammate here. every single one of the Generals players back for this free kick opportunity. Just about every single Rams player in the box. A couple players positioned behind. McNeil getting ready to take it. She goes for goal and boots that ball. Hard shot, but unable to keep it down. And a couple more substitutions getting ready for the Generals. With the sophomore Abigail Watson and senior Sarah Lathrop both checking in to the game. And Amelia Mankey and Helen Otney will check out. So definitely the best Farmingdale State chance of the game, as we just saw right there. But fortunately not able to put that one in onto target. A rocket of a shot, though, by McNeil. Watson now controls it for W&L in the midfield. Time continues to trickle down here in this first half. Just about 2 minutes left to go. Any potential goal-scoring chances or goals at the end of this half could be so crucial to this game moving forward. You got to think another Generals goal makes this game very, very difficult for the Rams to come back into. Of course, 2 goals or 3 goals, even not insurmountable, but much more difficult. But then on the other side, a goal for the Rams going into this half, it means so much towards the second half and their second half chances. I wonder if either team will just be content to take it into the half, though, with so little time remaining. The Generals still trying to find their way forward. Lathrop trying to track down that cross. Good job there by Heilbrunn, using her body again to block off the Generals attacker and win possession back for a goal kick for Stork. Zimmerman goes down. No foul call by the referee. About 30 seconds left. For the Rams, it looks like they're just going to try to hunker down here and not have any catastrophe before going into the half. Zimmerman trying to cut it back. 3 defenders on her. Manages to put that ball in onto the net, but an easy save there for Stork.
9, 8, 7,
The clock will
6,
just continue
5,
to wind and
4,
wind as this
3,
first half,
2, 1.
the NCAA tournament, comes to a close here at Alston Park or Watt Field. Spearheaded by 2 first-half goals from the first year, Megan Zimmerman and the Generals find themselves with a 2-0 lead as we get ready for second-half action here at Alston Park or Watt Field. The Rams, not necessarily the start to this first half that they were hoping for, but still plenty of time to get back into this one. So we'll be back after a few messages for some second-half action in the NCAA tournament.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
and to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. You can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
A good citizen is someone who wants to make a positive impact, both in their communities and in the world around them. The Division III approach is absolutely the best approach out there for amateur sport because it wants student athletes to explore all parts of who they are. Be successful in the classroom, be successful in competition, be successful in the community. So our student athletes learn what it means to strive for and attain success, but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, being a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
I'm a current Division III student athlete, and I remember how intimidating the first year of college can be.
So if you're a first-year student athlete and nervous about coming out as LGBTQ, I pledge to stand by your side as your ally.
If you can play Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I believe student athletes can help break down the barriers of exclusion.
I pledge to support and encourage my teammates
to support my campus's LGBTQ student group
by volunteering and participating in events.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I believe that everyone should be educated on LGBTQ issues.
I pledge to work with my athletic department and my campus to foster dialogue and create a community of support, respect, and pride.
If you can play in Division III.
We are Division III student athletes, and you can be too. If you can play in Division III.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
An obligation not merely to work towards a personal best in the classroom or in the sport we love, but rather an obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. For Special Olympics athletes, victory belongs not only to those who first cross the line, but to all of those who compete and endure.
They are challenged in ways we cannot imagine. They are survivors who test themselves harder and with greater joy than we will ever know.
Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn, as we all do, that in giving we receive so much more in return.
Sport ennobles us, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. You can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
A good citizen is someone who wants to make a positive impact, both in their communities and in the world around them. The Division III approach is absolutely the best approach out there for amateur sport because it wants student athletes to explore all parts of who they are. Be successful in the classroom, be successful in competition, be successful in the community. So our student athletes learn what it means to strive for and attain success, but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, being a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can.
Welcome back here to Alston Parker Watt Field on the campus of Washington and Lee with this first round NCAA tournament women's soccer action between the number 9 ranked Generals of Washington and Lee and the Farmingdale State Rams. Traveling all the way from Long Island, New York. We have some first half highlights and some first half stats. Here's the first half stats for you. Generals with their 2-0 lead, spearheaded by those two Megan Zimmerman. Goals, take a look at the shots and shots on goal. Generals really been dominant offensively early in that first half. 14 shots to just Farmingdale State's 2. Shots on goal favor the Generals as well. 4-1 in that category. 2 of those being saves for Farmingdale State, and 2 of them obviously the Generals' goals. Generals with the 1 save on that 1 shot on goal from Farmingdale State. And we take a look at the fouls in favor of the Rams over the Generals in this first half. But of note, Stephanie Albergine for the Rams picked up a yellow card, so she'll have to be careful in this second half as to not pick up another one. Taking a look at some of these first half highlights on the 2 Generals goals that we saw in that first half. First one from Megan Zimmerman, the cross from Burke put in right on the goal, and then Zimmerman able to put that ball into the back of the net in about the 14th minute of that first half. And then when we take a look at her second goal, this one solo goal, not assisted. Ball put in, deflected out. She had all the time and space at the edge of the box to put it at home and found the bottom left corner in the back of the net. Stork unable to get over to it, and the rest of the Rams players unable to come up and get pressure onto that shot, leading to that second goal. Right now, those 2 goals and Megan Zimmerman, the difference in that first half and in the game so far. But both teams stretching, warming up, getting ready to get going in this second half. It's some keys to this second half for both sides. First, for the Generals, it'll be really important for them to keep doing what they've been doing. They've been playing very, very well so far. Not too many mistakes committed. Only a couple offensive chances that they've allowed the Rams to have. As we said before, 12 clean sheets in a row. Haven't lost since their first game of the season, and looking to carry that forward into this second half and hold on to their 2-0 lead. For the Rams on the other side, it's going to be really important to try to get their offensive powerhouses going with Rivera and Mendez. I said earlier, McAuliffe, one of their top scorers, she is not listed to play today, so it really will have to come down to Mendez and Rivera, but a lot of their other players to get going and try to find their way forward against this very stingy Generals defense. They did a much better job that second half of the first half, limiting the Generals' good offensive looks. They still got a lot of shots in onto goal and just in general, but not really too threatening after those 2 goals from Megan Zimmerman. So it'll be important for Farmingdale State to really put together a full-fledged second half here, really get all their pieces moving to where they need them to go in order to try to steal a victory here and tie this game up, hopefully, in this second half. So the Generals will get the ball to start this second half. It'll be Zimmerman. Compared to what she normally does, a rather quiet first half, playing a crucial role in the midfield. Not too many offensive chances or shots put in by her. Zimmerman conversing with the referee, trying to get things going and underway. Very crucial second half for both sides. What happens here could mean the season for either team, so everything will be left out there on the field for both sides. We saw some of that in the first half with a lot of physical play, but we immediately get going underway here in the second half with a Generals throw on the far side near the corner. The next goal scored in this game could mean a lot towards what happens the rest of the way. I talked about it at the end of that first half. Goal for the Generals, a 3-0 lead. It's a really big cushion for them to carry in this second half, but on the other end, Farmingdale State are able to find their way forward and put one into the back of the net. 2-1 game could mean anything for either side. Generals defense has been so good all year. And for a team like the Rams here, it could feel almost an insurmountable challenge to try to get a couple goals on a team that hasn't allowed a goal in their last 12 contests, but stranger things have happened. Similar to the start of that first half, both teams sort of trading possession into each other's halves, knocking the ball around. Once again, getting back into the feel and flow of the game. Bissinger smartly just lets that ball roll out of the back for a Groff goal kick. In that first half, both of the Zimmerman goals coming within about 4 minutes of each other. The rest of the half saw a lot of shot attempts, but not too many threatening opportunities. Which has to be a building point if you're the Rams to understand that, yes, you gave up a lot of shots, but that's a characteristic that a lot of teams faced with the Generals. They actually shoot and generally get the most shots a game more than any other team in the country. It's a characteristic of this team. They love to shoot from long range and really any opportunity that they have, which inflates their shot attempt numbers, but only 4 on goal. Already in the second half, you can see the Rams coming out and putting a lot of pressure. That one's stolen away from Huber by Mendez. Still seems like the Rams have not yet figured out this W&L defense, but they're trying to get up on the left flank. But they're going to, I believe, rule that ball went out of play. She was all alone moving forward, but the Generals realized that ball went out of play and didn't commit their defenders back. Heavy touch there in the midfield, though, by Rivera. Gives the ball away to the Generals. DeVore with a lot of room. She boots it long. Berman cuts it back. Tries to put the ball in forward to Burke. Great defensive effort there by the Rams back line, and Stork coming out to steal that ball. She boots this one high into the air. Won by Hannah, but put out of play by Hannah there, so it will be a Rams throw on the far side. Rams trying to maintain their 6-game win streak that they have going into this one. Won the Skyline Conference Championship. Found a lot of success this season. But backs pushed up against the wall here. lot of passes here for W&L. Good ball to DeVore, up to Berman. Good defensive effort there, though, from McNeil. She wins it for the Rams. Now they try to possess it. A good passing there, but a wayward ball finds the feet of Megan Zimmerman. So far, still the only goal scorer in this game. Bowman unable to track that ball down. A little bit wayward there from DeVore. Chance again for the Rams to try to build some pressure on offense. Loughran in the midfield won that ball for the Rams. Again, just unable to find the pass forward. Burke positioned herself offside. The referee saw that right away. She tried to get back on, but the pass was already made. McNeil will boot it along ahead. Still unable to make contact with their forwards are the Rams. Some unforced errors here committed by this team. Bissinger knocks that one out off a Farmingdale State player. Burke gets tripped up there by the turf. McNeil again using her speed, trying to get forward. Again, the Generals not allowing that ball to make its final pass up into the final third of their own half. Zimmerman goes down. No foul call there. Mankey now moving forward with the after that stolen pass. Berman trying to win it. Her pressure forces clearance out. And a throw now coming for the Generals once again up on that far side. Just about 9 minutes gone in this second half. Still the 2-0 lead for the Generals. The Rams still trying to find a threatening offensive chance. They had a couple set pieces that looked threatening in that first half. So far, nothing in this second half. Generals now, even them, finding a hard time getting the ball forward. Both teams really just trading possession up into each other's halves. Once again, that ball sails out of play off of a Rams player. Burke over to Berman. She gets to Zimmerman, who has Bowman all alone on the far side, trying to cross it through. Bowman had a chance there, but instead, it'll be Albergine with it, and Zimmerman committing the foul on Albergine. So the free kick to be taken by Celeste. About 35 minutes for the Rams team to try and grab 2 goals and try to equalize this game. It's round 1 here of Division III NCAA Tournament Women's Soccer. And again, the ball going out of play. Rams having a hard time keeping it in on the wings. They've done a better job of getting up into the Generals' half, but have just not been able to find accurate passes. Generals now content really just to possess it and switch the field over to Hannah. Hannah again with it. She goes all the way down to the ground. Really physical play there on that far side, even well after the ball had gone out of play. Not entirely sure what the extracurriculars were on that play, but there's a Farmingdale State player down after Hannah collided. So in the second half, not too much action. No shots for either side yet, with about 12 minutes elapsed. Both teams really just trading possession, going back and forth in each other's respective sides of the field. The Rams defense definitely has figured something out against this Generals offense. They've done a better job executing and getting out of their own half of the field. Just need to figure out how to crack the code of this W&L team, that W&L defense that a lot of teams have been unable to figure out. Generals winning every single contest that they've played in this season besides their first game against the College of New Jersey all the way back on August 30th. And then on October 20th, tying against Christopher Newport in a scoreless draw. But other than that, every single game has been a victory. It's still only the 4 goals conceded on the year, but as it is tournament play, anything can happen for either side in this game. It's important to keep their emotions in check, though. A little bit of emotions running high in that first half, but both teams doing a better job of that here. For the Rams, that far side, it looks like it's Heilbrunn who's the one that was down for the Rams on that far side. It'll be Coloma to come in for Heilbrunn, who's still walking off the field a little slow to do so. It's good to see that she's okay, though, after the physical play on that far side with Hannah. Both of them going down on that earlier play. Both teams obviously not afraid to be physical with one another. We've seen a lot of that. 9 fouls committed by the Generals, 6 by the Rams. A lot of bodies flying all over the field, which can lead to some injuries. That ball stolen by Burke, trying to put it forward to Berman. Good defensive effort and another flick. Beautiful little back heel flip by Rivera, but no teammate forward to get that. She's done a couple of those today. And now the Rams again win their back line, trying to get the ball forward. Pressure from these Generals forwards, though. And again, that pressure forcing a inaccurate ball. Some unforced errors, though. Really costing the Rams right now. Generals passing in the second half has been not necessarily up to par with their standards either. Still no shots by both sides. A lot of that due to some of this defensive pressure working a lot more effectively. Zimmerman with some space, trying to beat her defender. Gets it to Berman, who then crosses it into the box. Ball finds its way all the way to the feet of Burke, who puts it right into the hands of Stork, but an excellent save there by Stork, coming out right to the edge of that 8-yard box. Put it in her hands right in front of Burke, who had a clear shot in onto goal. And then the ball will be cleared to the far corner for a General's corner kick, but Stork there with a crucial save, not allowing Burke to find the back of the net. Tavori to take it from the Generals. She boots it long. Once again, found the head of Megan Zimmerman, but she headed that ball well over the back of the netting. Stork puts it short this time. Burke with it on the far side. She crosses it into Zimmerman, who tries her luck from distance. And they're going to say it took a deflection off of a Rams player. So it will be a General's corner. That ball looked like it was clean off the foot of Zimmerman, just flying over the net, but referee saw something, saw the deflection. So quick succession, couple corners now in favor of W&L. Berman puts it short this time. Finds his way right into the middle of the box. Ball still bouncing around. Cleared out now of the 18-yard box, and Zimmerman bodied off the ball. Stays in play, though. Now the Rams trying to go back on the counter. Passes leading, though, behind and allowing the Generals to get back. Still with that Rams back line. Celeste got that ball up to Coloma, but then Coloma unable to control it. There's a couple substitutions again. Aubrey Dunbar and Helen Otney, who we saw in the first half, both checking in for the Generals for Huber and Burke. Same substitutions as early in that first half with about 28 to go in this second half. Zimmerman sprinting up the left flank. She's bodied off the ball by Coloma, and then Celeste will clear it. Be a throw for W&L. Bowman puts it into Zimmerman. Megan Zimmerman, the 2 goals she has in this game. Bowman trying to move up the left flank. Gets pushed off the ball, though, by Celeste and unable to keep that cross in play. Brown now comes in for Megan Zimmerman. The Generals getting going with their bench. About 27 left to go in this game, getting some of their bench players involved and some of their starters some rest. So it's Coloma now. Just again, not able to find an accurate pass forward. It's really been a story of this second half for the Rams. Much better effort defensively, but still the lackluster offense. And that ball finds its way all the way through to the feet of Zimmerman. And she's able to slot that ball home. Stork left all alone on the back end there. And really not much for Stork to do there. Zimmerman knifing through the Rams defense and putting that ball home as we take a look at the replay. Camera a little slow to get up to it. But you can see that ball found the feet of Zimmerman, and she slots home a very accurate shot into the back of the net. Some substitutions now again for the Generals. Perry and Elizabeth Zimmerman coming in. The Generals now up to a 3-0 lead.
Sarah Zimmerman, assisted by number 17, Marin Brown.
As you just heard, Brown also with the assist. Sarah Zimmerman, though, getting involved. Just like her sister Megan Zimmerman, 13 goals now on the season for Sarah Zimmerman. Increasing her lead for the most goals on this Generals roster. She's been very prolific, especially as of late, scoring goals in the ODAC tournament. Scored a goal in every single contest that the Generals had. And putting home what could be a vital goal. 3-0 lead. 2-0 is already quite a lot. 3-0 for the Rams is quite the hill to climb, but still 25 minutes to go in this game. Still trying to find their recipe on offense. Bowman, the Generals calling on the left side, but Dunbar will knife right through the middle of the field. She cuts it back. Try to cross it over to Zimmerman, but good block there from the Rams defense. Zimmerman with it now. Has some space. Low cross in, trying to find Otney, but booted away by the Rams team. Doing a good job right now holding on to the pressure. Zimmerman trying to take on 3 Rams players. Getfield did a good job coming up and knocking that ball away, but Dunbar maintains possessions for W&L. Bowman with a little 1-2 between her and Otney. She cuts into the box, crosses it in, and Brown able to get a foot on it, but ball spins right over the net. As the sophomore Stephanie Zataki comes in for the goal scorer, Sarah Zimmerman, and then for the Rams, it's Maddie Berry. We saw in that first half, the senior midfielder / defender checking back in. Chants coming in from the home crowd. A decent crowd for both fan bases, though, here today. Coming on to support each of their teams as they fight to stay alive in this NCAA tournament. A lot of other games with some action going on right now. I'll have some updates about other games within this section of the bracket at the end of this contest, but both teams still fighting here. Rams down 3-0. Really have struggled offensively. But have looked better in this second half. Just need to execute some of their passes better up into the other half of the field and need to find a way to break down this very, very, very stingy Generals defense. And you're seeing why that can be so difficult right now between the play of DeVore and Bissinger. Tend to play most minutes. And are a very crucial center back duo. The ball does get to the feet of Rivera, but again, Bissinger coming up stealing it with a lot of green grass ahead. Now Elizabeth Zimmerman finds the feet of Marin Brown, who had her teammate Sataki all alone on the backside. The Rams were not in position there. What a good defensive play by their center backs to come up and prevent that pass from being executed. Now Grosso, she comes back in for the Generals, and Esmeralda Merlos. Checks in for the Rams from Michaela Spearling. Merlos, defensive player, sophomore for this Rams team. Zimmerman crossing it in. The feet of Dunbar gets deflected out by the Rams. And again, some more substitutions for both sides. Gracie Jurgensen for the Generals and Bianca Ferraro for the Rams. Bianca Ferraro didn't see any action in that first half, but coming in here, a forward, number 29. It's also her first season of collegiate soccer. Grosso there on that play, put the ball in. It looked like Generals attackers were positioned offsides. No flag coming up, but Stork corralling it anyway, so it won't matter. The Generals again winning back possession. McNeil stealing that ball from Grosso, getting by her with that move and trying to set up a play. She has a lot of space up on her right flank. She's moving forward. Finds the feet of Rivera. Rivera trying to move forward. She crosses it in, but right to the feet of Zataki. That ball put in by Celeste, but a heavy touch from McNeil. Rams now getting the pressure forward, but rather ticky-tack foul there on Chest. Again, some good build-up play from the Rams there. Some heavy touches not allowing them to find that last pass forward. They're going to need to see a lot more play like that if they're going to want to have a chance to come back into this game. Coming up after this contest is Ohio Northern versus Sewanee. Decide who will face the winner of this game. Right now it's looking like the Generals, but still 18 minutes left. Still plenty of time to find their offensive spark and a few goals for the Rams. Here's another opportunity on the free kick. Ball's booted long, right in onto goal. And Groff, instead of grabbing that, opts to go for the smart play, the safe play, just punching it over the net. That ball put right into where she was standing. And it'll be the first corner kick opportunity of the day for the Rams. Certainly an aspect of their offense that they've been lacking in this game, but now finally able to try to execute this set piece. And Chest puts it in onto the near side, and unfortunately that ball doesn't make its way into the field of play. And now for the Generals, sophomore Ava Hecker. She'll come in to replace Bryn Bissinger. On a typical substitution, Bissinger often a piece of this team that plays most, if not all, of the game. DeVore to take the kick. A lot of the time, the Generals do opt for DeVore or Bissinger on that back line instead of Groff to take the free kicks because they have a bigger leg. It's not often that you see a non-goalie take the goal kicks. Perry working, cutting through the Rams defense, finds Brown. That ball took just a slight deflection off of Celeste, saving that ball from finding its way to Zimmerman on the backside. And Zimmerman trying to use her moves to cut through the Rams team. Brown dribbling through, unable to keep going though. Both teams right now fighting for possession. Clock continues to wind with about 15 minutes to go in this second half. This Sarah Zimmerman with the goal in the second half, extending the lead. 2-3-0. Jurgensen got tied up with the Rams defense there and committed the foul. And Barry for the throw for the Rams on the far side. As time continues to tick down, and it becomes more and more crucial that the Rams find some sort of way to start generating some offensive chances. Still only 3 shots total, but here's a good chance for them now with McNeil. It looks like the Rams player is trying to plead their case that ball may have took a deflection, but the center official is going to disagree with that call, and a couple more substitutions now. Watson and Lathrop for the Generals coming in to replace Brown and Dunbar. Similar substitutions to that we saw in the first half. Otney trying to get up onto that ball, but was offside. As I was saying, the recipe for success for the Rams has been rather elusive on the offensive side of the ball today. Burke now coming in for the Generals. Anything can change at any moment. But it's just been a struggle to get that last pass in. We saw earlier McNeil just a few moments ago sprinting up the right flank and not being able to get an accurate cross in. That's really been the struggle and where a lot of the struggle has stemmed from for the Farmingdale State team today. The speed, again, of this Farmingdale State team on display there with Rivera. But just good positioning, perfect positioning, if you will, from DeVore, knocking that ball and getting the ball up into the Rams half of the field very quickly. It's an often underrated aspect of this Generals team is their ability to get out on the break just because of the few defensive chances that they often have in the game. The Rams have certainly done a commendable job of getting the ball and possessing it compared to a lot of the time what the story is for teams that do play the Generals. But again, just the execution offensively has not necessarily been where they would have hoped to have it so far. The Generals again offensively. Last few times they've had offensive chances to cross in. Just positioned offside. Burke now this time the culprit. That time a long shot. Taken by Mendez, just pulling up from deep, trying to create some sort of chaos. That can kind of come with frustration on the offensive end if you can't get the ball close to the net. Sometimes they just got to pull from long distance. That one not really threatening towards Groff, but the Rams will maintain possession here. And McNeil just knocking that ball off again for another throw. The clock continues to wind. Almost down to the last 10 minutes of this game. McNeil had some space there. So perhaps take a couple extra dribbles forward, but she opted to go for the shot from there. Not really too threatening there on to Groff. Generals now moving forward offensively. Zimmerman gets that ball taken away from her, but it will be a Generals corner. Their sixth attempt from the corner slot of the day. None of their goals coming from that set piece. Again, that has been a little bit of a struggle recently for this W&L team, finding good execution off of these corners. You also have to commend the Rams' job that they've done today, not allowing anything to come off of them. Be Lathrop, though, unable to knock that ball out of play. It'll still remain with the Generals. Stork to boot it long. Rams here trying to avoid falling to 1-13 in the NCAA tournament over their history in this competition. I'll have to be sparked by some late game heroics. The Generals now taking a long-range shot. Ball hits right off of the crossbar. Lathrop just trying her luck from distance. Stork able to get a hand on it and then knock that ball right into the crossbar. Fortunate. That was the farthest that Farmingdale really has gotten up on offense on that opportunity there. But again, still not able to find that pass forward. That was Lothran on the far end. Watson now winning possession, goes down in the midfield. There'll be a foul. On Chest. The game clock continues to wind. Both teams getting ready for a slew of substitutions on both sides. DeVore puts it long. Both teams trying to keep possession. Rolled to the feet of Watson. She tried to put it in, but couldn't really get too much power underneath that shot. Otney putting that ball. Grosso that was, and now all the substitutions coming in. There's Otney now coming in for Zimmerman. As well for the Generals. And Margot Carr checking in, and then a whole platoon swap for the Rams. Just getting some of their players in that haven't played already in this game. Burke puts it into the middle of the box, knocked away. Clock tickles down to 5 minutes left to go, and the chances for the Rams to try to grab a goal in this game are starting to dwindle. Another substitution now again for the Generals. Brown coming in for Burke. So it's officially all the starters out of the game for Washington and Lee. On the other side, Celeste, starter coming back in, replacing Chest. Generals opting to have their bench finish out this contest for them. Starters did the job, getting that 3-0 lead. Lathrop trying to track that ball down. Unable to do so. Otney, a little bit too heavy of a touch there. Stork boots it long. The Rams just trying to find any kind of consolation goal at this point, or any sort of offensive look. The Generals really dominating possession these last couple minutes. And a good look there for Sataki, trying to get the ball out to Grasso, but Grasso unable to control it. Rams just unable to make clean connections on a lot of these passes. Notley goes down there. Celeste committing the foul. A little bit of dissent with the referee, not agreeing with the call. Lathrop boots it long. Ball took a dangerous bounce off the head. I believe that was a Rams player. That ball targeted back in onto goal, but sails wide of the post. Now the Rams will look to try to find something they haven't been able to find all day, which is some consistency on the offensive end. Really just has been a struggle. This Generals team has really lived up to their name and lived up to their reputation of such a great defensive team. Defensive effort in this second half certainly been more consistent on the Rams side as well, but the goal from Sarah Zimmerman made this game a 3-0 game, and likely for the Rams puts it out of reach. Zataki will just try her luck. Stork unable to grab that ball. Similar to the play we saw with Groff on the other side off a free kick. Forced to punch it right over the net. The Generals will get another chance here at a corner. Their 8th of this contest. The clock winds down to just about a minute left to go in this game. Ball still left loose.
1 minute remaining in the second half. 1 minute.
Grasso almost able to put that ball into the back of the net. Flies right over the crossbar. And now, for the Rams, it really is a matter of just trying to grab one consolation goal. Trying not to get shut out, but the Generals still dominating possession here. Otney, they're going to say, positioned herself, stepped out of bounds. McNeil with it. She's trying to work forward. That time they're going to say the ball went out of bounds again. Just 10 seconds now left in the game, but the referee will stop the clock. Not entirely sure what for. I think Grosso's has a bit of an injury there. They're going to keep play moving forward as the clock will wind down here at Watt Field.
3, 2, 1.
And the result of today's contest will be a first-round victory for the Generals of Washington and Lee. Their first time since 2009 earning a win in the first round of the NCAA tournament, taking down the Farmingdale State Rams. The final score of 3-0, spearheaded by a few goals from the Zimmerman sisters. If we go back and take a look at how the Generals got this lead, the first goal put in the back of the net. Or rather, that's the second goal the Generals scored in this game. That was Megan Zimmerman. She slotted that ball home. And then if we take a look at their first goal in this game, Megan Zimmerman receiving the cross from Emily Burke on the far side. She goes up and slots that ball home in the back of the net to give the Generals the 1-0 lead. You just saw the second goal that Megan Zimmerman scored. And then the final goal of this game scored by the older Zimmerman sister, Sarah Zimmerman. Received the pass from the midfield. Rams defense out of position, and then Zimmerman slotting it home to increase the Generals' lead to 3-0, which ended up being the final goal scored in this contest, and the difference in this game, those 3 goals. So the Generals will advance on to the next round to face the winner of this next contest coming up between Ohio Northern and Sewanee. But unfortunately for the Rams of Farmingdale State, this is where their road in the NCAA tournament ends. Winners of the Skyline Conference, but unable to find really too much offense against this Generals team. That just about does it for us here on this broadcast in the first matchup of this NCAA tournament here at Alston Parker Watt Field. The next game coming up between Sewanee and Ohio Northern, as I just mentioned, but the Generals moving on to face the winner of that contest after they beat Farmingdale State by a total score of 3-0, really dominated offensively in almost every single facet of this game. But thank you for tuning in on the NCAA.com website here from Alston Parker Watt Field. My name is Shane Riley. Really a pleasure to be here with you for this contest, and we'll just about ready to have the next game coming up for you right about at 1:30 between Ohio Northern and Sewanee. But the Generals get the dub here today, 3-0 against the Rams of Farmingdale State.